I'm Milani Perera, one of the programmers from the Tallinn Black Night Film Festival, and you're with PÖFF TV. We have two directors here, and they are from the movie Vache Folle. Vache Folle is in the Rebels category this year, and this is their debut. I have Hugo, Diego Garcia, and then Lorenzo Bentivoglio. Oh, God. Yes, I got it. Right. So these two guys are completely rebels in terms of how they have made the movie and the whole execution of it and how the roles they have played down right to the concept they have spoken about. So we're going to talk about the very detailed yet concise manner. Hugo is a co-director. He's the main, he plays the protagonist. He's also a co-producer. He was also part of the editing, and he's also the screenwriter for this movie. And Lorenzo is also a co-director. He's a producer, cinematographer, and also a co-editor. Welcome to have you here.
Thank you.
Right. So the movie was actually screened here twice, and you were there yesterday. You were connecting with the audience, and it was a very interesting experience. The audience had quite sincere emotions about it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that feelings in your mind, let's talk about this movie. And one thing I've stated yesterday at the Q&A is that it was completely a rebel from every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with, how did you two come together to make this movie? How was the process? And how long it took?
Mm-hmm. So Lorenzo and me, we met 8 years ago. I was directing my first short movie, and I was looking for one of the main cast. And it was a movie about my father, and I was looking for his best friend. So kind of met Lorenzo like this, and we instantly had this bromance.
Mm-hmm.
And then 8 years later, actually less. Actually 6 years later, we made Vache Folle. I wrote it, and I asked him to co-direct because I needed someone who knew me, who was an excellent actor, and who was in the present moment an instinctive director to support this project. And so we did this in a few months with a small group of people, a team of 4 people actually. No pre-production, a script written in 1 month, and we bought the camera the next day after I asked him if he was in, and we started shooting right away. And at first it wasn't very great, and after 1 week we felt that we had something, and that was it. And then we shot on and off for 3 or 4 months, and we edited for almost 4 years, again on and off, a lot of stories, ups and downs, and now we're ready.
Mm-hmm. Ready and go. And editing for 4 years, and then finally locking your edit this year. How has this editing process, what has this process taught you, or sort of how has it helped you to perfection your craft?
You want to say something?
You got?
You want to say something?
Yeah, it was like at the beginning we were like, when we finished to shoot the movie, we were lost, with what we can do now. So we finished, we did it, we wrapped the movie.
Because we had no script supervisor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was chaos.
Yeah, chaos complete.
Mm-hmm.
So
50 hours of rushes.
yeah. So we knew that giving stuff to people would be hard for them, to understand. So we try some stuff, but we understand that we have to do it by ourselves because we're the only one to really know the material that we have,
Yeah, you gotta understand. It's not 4 years of editing locked in a room. Obviously, it's a few months, a pause of 6 months, another few months of failures and understanding of what works, what doesn't work, etc., etc. Having people take a look, having people try things, eventually to realize it was our job, like we had done with everything else, which is very interesting because we tried to go with other people, we tried to have external people work on this, but eventually, like the movie was made, it was ours. It was our task. It was our obligation and only us could do it because it was so chaotic, confusing, inconsistent, and precise that you needed two people crazy with time and who really, really wanted it. And so the great thing with this is that we managed to correct a lot of mistakes that we had made in writing, in acting, in shooting. So yeah, this movie, you give it to a good editor, there's no movie. It's impossible.
Yeah.
We needed to amend basically for all the flaws that we had because of lack of preparation or self-indulgence. Because there were great things in this movie, but there were a lot of bad things because it was our acting school. So we learned a lot in the editing process, and actually we got lucky to take so long because we had the opportunity to have our more evolved, more mature selves from today working on a material that we shot 5 years ago. And we feel like if we had edited this right off the bat, 5 years ago, it would have been a very immature and
It would have been a completely different
movie. So yeah, we could put our more mature input. I know it sounds ridiculous to say mature in 5 years, but when you're between 25 and 30, you change a lot, especially for a movie like this.
Yeah.
Especially in these years, very transformative years. And so, yeah, this actually the funny thing is that this editing process has taught us a lot about acting and writing. Because you stay with yourself, with your acting for 5 years, and with your writing for 5 years, so then you know exactly what you're not going to do again, what you're going to do again, what works, what doesn't work. Now, you've cut so much things that even now when I write a script, I know what I'm going to cut, so I don't write it. So it's very interesting, the editing process. You learn a ton.
And thank you so much. Like you said, this was your school. This was your film school of making a movie, because you haven't had formal film school education, both of you, and you have done acting, but in the sense of a short movie you have done, but not in a big production or like not previous actors. And you also said like you have learned editing on the go with this movie.
Yeah.
And like how challenging was this? Apart from the chaos, you had a script was there, but then it changed a lot, and then you have to learn everything on the go. You have shot it in a couple of months, but how chaotic was this, and what kind of a support did you get from your friends and family and your team?
C'est quoi dire?
Well, it was chaotic because we had no money.
What was your budget?
At first, nothing. At first, it was 2,000 to buy the camera, and then we started spending as we went, And then we needed the sound guy, so we paid him kind of like black, under the table, etc., etc. Like moving forward like this. Eventually, we finished the production for under 60,000, more or less. And then 5 years later, we got support in post-production from a patron. They gave us big envelope, I mean extremely small compared to any movie, but still enough to complete and finish the movie.
And you have got some big names also helping you with that.
Yeah, but this was thanks to the rough cut that we put together, and they saw the potential, and so we got the luck to get top colorist, top editor, and top sound mixer and sound editor that just supported us and gave us advice or directly worked on the movie.
Like when you said there's this movie, so there's no, I mean, a good editor will not be able to edit this, you said it, but it's more like not a good editor, but a standard editing or the standard movie making will not see a movie in this, but a movie editor or a movie maker who has, let's say, alternative way of looking at it. They could see the potential.
And, also because they watched a rough cut that already took months to make.
Exactly.
Our point is, you give the raw material to an editor. First, he kills himself. Second, he's lost because it's just too much. It's absurd. It's like 50 to 60 hours of footage with billions of improvisations and landscape and B-rolls, and it just made no sense if you didn't know exactly what you wanted from the movie.
Okay, thank you.
And then we got a lot of support from our friends and family. Obviously, Lorenzo supported this crazy idea, and then David and Malo and Jordan, our team, and then actresses and actors and our parents and neighbors providing a car, a house, food, and that's how slowly we built this entire movie.
Yeah, thank you so much. Lorenzo, cinematographer. How is your career? How you launched your career as cinematographer through this movie.
Yeah, but
How did it come about?
I don't know. Like when Hugo told me we have to do the movie and someone have to hold the camera, so I said okay, I can do it. So that's why we built the camera. And I start to learn on how to do it, like little by little. So I have no experience with that, and I was like just shooting, like just trying and feeling and with my instinct and say maybe we can do this, and I was just following things, So it was my first experience, real experience of holding the camera on the shoulder and running behind him,
I think his strength also is first natural ability and talent, but second is not being limited by beliefs, because most people, they think you need to go to school or to learn, and our vision was like, no, there's no need to learn how to edit because it's instinctual. Same for filming. Obviously there's a highly technical level, but you can get it on YouTube. You can, then it's lighting. So lighting, it's at the end of the day, we watch you right now, how are we gonna light you, So Lorenzo's like trying, and by experimenting, he managed to get a result that so far has impressed a lot of professional cinematographers, which is the proof that it can work. Same for editing, same for writing, and it's just to prove that with passion and
just do anything.
focused energy, you can do it.
And having art.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that is something like a film school can give you, and it's very important for
course.
the newcomers to learn. But then again, the knowing techniques and knowing art are two different things.
Yeah.
But having an art is very important. You two, after watching the movie, I felt there was art everywhere. There was art, which is very organic and not inhibited by standard structure. That's what's there.
But we're also aware of standard structure. We just wanted to tell the story a different way.
You want to challenge it?
Yeah, we wanted to just...
Was it like purposefully done? I
No.
want to challenge this?
No. I mean, it was just about let's make what we want while always being aware of what exists, genres, style, type of audiences. We were very aware of this, so it was navigating between, popular and elite, how to say, genre and authorship, a mix of things. But we wanted the movie to be accessible, to anybody, men and women, young people, older people, whatever your political background, we just wanted a universal story that moved people, and how to express this in the most visceral, impactful, and profound and honest way, obviously, with our very limited means.
Okay. Thank you so much. And what about the selection of the characters and the stories? It's an underdog. The character of the movie is Cédric. Cédric is an underdog, and he is treated as such by the system he's living in, the people around him, specifically. He's a man who's searching for connection, but he's denied of it. And why do you think our first movie together, and technically, yes, you have a limited budget, you have the whole plethora of options to test on, but then again, you have also limitations in that also. In terms of story structure, not the story structure, the story itself, why do you think you need to talk about this underdog?
Because you write about who you identify with.
You two identify with Cédric?
100%. And also...
Why? Can we
he's
talk
an
about
outsider.
that?
Well, he's a guy our age. He's a young man who's, fucked up. He comes from our region. And we feel like he's a transposed version of ourselves. More extreme, more raw, more interesting at a cinematographic level, but with exaggerated versions of our problems, of our struggles, you know, and ourselves as actors and filmmakers, because of where we come from, our archetypes, and how we, you know, have been rejected our entire lives. We felt like outsiders, and we wanted this character that is flawed, but that people want to champion, to represent us, and that's why we created Cédric, and for other reasons, obviously, but this is one of the reasons.
That's where you identified yourself with Cédric. So it comes from a very personal, genuine part of yourself. Okay, thank you so much. Then going forward, if now we have another screening, we have had 2 successful screenings, we have another screening, and if you can sort of, let's say, with a line or 2, I know it's very hard because you have given your heart and soul to it for years, and it's your part of yourself. And if we are to summarize it, if you had sort of, say the story in a sentence or 2 to the audience who are planning to come and watch this movie in the future, how would you say it?
It's neo-noir, melodramatic romance in the sun, under the sun, in the mountains, about a guy who fucked up and he's trying his best to correct his past mistakes. There's a little bit of everything, and it's extremely intense and different. That's the only thing we can say. Maybe some people won't like it, or it won't be their style, but you're gonna sit and you're gonna spend an hour and a half feeling things, and you're gonna come off shaken. We actually had a guy who came out of it and hated it so much that he wrote ourselves 1 page of extreme criticism, which made us happy because we moved him in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was completely
blown away by it.
Yeah, and disgusted, but it was so visceral that we felt like we managed. But nobody has been indifferent.
Yeah,
it's impactful whether you like it or not. So we advise people to just go. We've tried to give everything we had and to come up with something new. We feel like we achieved this in the sense that it's different, and there are elements of old cinema, modern cinema, American cinema, European cinema, and of us. So just go check it out and enjoy, because it's something.
Okay. Right. So there you have it. So the movie itself is it's a rebellious attempt by these 2 young film directors, first time, and it's a combination of like-minded fellows. It is very impactful. It is emotional. In spite of all experimentation they have done, it's a tightly knit production, which has a very emotional ending. It's as you said, it will definitely resonate an emotional let's say impression after finishing the movie and walking out of the theater. So can you tell us about the date of the final screening at PÖFF?
I think it's 22nd.
Yes, it's 22nd.
Yeah, we encourage people to go.
Please, yes, go and see it.
And cry.
Respond to it. Cry, be angry at it, have questions, but definitely it will not make you leave the theater wondering, okay, that's another movie. It's just one of those movies. It's going to be one of those important, memorable movies. There you have it. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. We have taken more time, actually. But thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap.
Thank you, PÖFF TV.
Thank you.
Thank you, people. Please go see it and enjoy.